Hello guys, welcome. I decided to do a video that, well, I never had a chance to really do or show, and I thought it would be cool to show you guys. This pretty much is for more hardcore or more older school Resident Evil fans that really care about this particular thing, because most people don't really care anymore. So this is kind of collected by more core fans, hardcore fans. Older fans, I guess. I don't have a bunch of these, but this is the strategy guides, and I just thought it'd be cool because I never showed them in my collection videos ever, and I might as well just go through them and show you what I like about them. So this video goes out to the true dedicated subscribers and the more hardcore fans. So I appreciate it. I appreciate everything that you guys have been doing on this channel, if you still are, so here, let's get started. This one is one of my favorites. It's Resident Evil 2, the perfect guide versus books put out. I think Brandy Games put out, or somebody put out, who used to put that stuff out? I'm trying to think. I think it's Brady Games. I don't know. Brady Games. They put out several strategy guides that were just standard based. They would just kind of be from the beginning to end and a few other things, and that was it. Perfect guides, however, they literally had everything about the game. They had all the secrets. You see Hunk down there. They had all the secrets, and it was only $10 back then. So yeah, it shows where. This is old. But in the back, it pretty much has all the costumes, how to get better endings, and this was really cool. And this is the one that my dad actually bought back in the day. This is the one that me and him used to go through. As you see, it starts out with Leon A. You see Leon in the upper corner. Then you got Claire. But what it does is it actually goes, of course, it goes Claire, and like I just showed you, and then it goes back to Leon, second mission. And it goes back to Claire, second mission. So it would have little highlight things for the bosses. Now, a thing that I like is that they really get into detail with lessons and searching rooms, and very nostalgic, very different, you know what I mean? Listen and look, knife fighting, which, obviously was hard back in the day, and it still is hard, one of my favorites is, and what they always tend on doing, is that they have each creature, and they tell you how much it takes to kill, and I don't believe the regular guides have shit like that. So like Liquor B would take 16 knife slashes, you know what I mean, with that much percent, you know what I mean. So it's really cool. They really stripped down everything that they could. Each monster, each mutation of Birkin, 36 knife slashes, 46 knife slashes. I mean, that stuff like that's really cool to me. To me, anyway. I mean, some people will be like, they have really colorful maps, really cool design. They really, I like what they did there. And trying to find what I'm trying to show you guys. Something that I really like and returned in the next versus book guide is these little tidbits. And it's Resident Evil 2 Wacky Funland. Sorry, I had a distraction there. But yeah, these Wacky Funlands that are pretty much little bits that kind of poke fun at Resident Evil, and little things that are just kind of funny. Like, for example, they make fun of how Leon doesn't shave his, pits or whatever, like, when he puts his arm up. They made him put his arm up, and, they make fun of that. They make fun of how this guy died while eating. You just read that there. See, look. This is just true horror. I'm not suggesting that Leon should have shaved his pits, although he does seem to have the type he naturally would. But I certainly didn't pay $60 to see Leon shove his nasty, grimy armpits in my face. See, little fun things like that, those are actually pretty funny. I'll try to show you another one here. My favorite one is in the Resident Evil 3 guide, but we'll get to that in a second. This is part 2. It goes by part. It's going backwards because of Claire. These are like just certain backgrounds. Like, for example, this says red rum. Red rum. And then, you know, it spells murder backwards. Okay, it's a cliche, but it's still kind of cool to see it here. Like, I didn't really notice that, like, when I played. So I thought that was really cool. And they just question these little blurry things, and it's kind of cool. Because nobody else would, you know, really question them. So, yeah, cool little eye in the back. And the back, actually, whoa, just, like, ripped it a little bit. God damn it. Anyway, in the back, there's a bunch of Game Shark codes. So if you actually want to put in Game Shark codes and just, like, you know, have fun with that. Then they cover the hunk for Survivor, each room, and how to get tofu. And, which, you know, and with the key and everything, and Brad, how to get the Brad Vickers trick, and how you can, like, kill him easy by having him dive, and how you don't pick up any items to the police station. So really cool stuff, really nostalgic book, and if you really are a Resident Evil fan, pick it up for sure. I used to have Director's Cut. I used to have that one, but I think it got lost. It got way too torn. And speaking of torn books, well, this is just a little cool advertisement that I actually got on eBay a little while ago. You might remember it. I thought it was cool. Very nostalgic. I remember seeing this in the magazines. Resident Evil 3. So it brings us to this. Now, this book has been through hell on Earth. The back page is like crushed to shit, but as you see, it's like literally taped. It has Versus Book Dino Crisis, which I never got a chance to get. But this is actually taped together somehow very well, I guess. And I want to rebuy it in a better condition, but this is the legit one that I grew up with as well. And this is the perfect guide. New cover, by the way. Also comes with a poster, which I don't know what happened to. Again, this is old, but you see, you might be like, "Well, is there pages missing?" No, actually, everything's intact. It's just the back cover is fucked up, but it still covers Mercenaries. You know, how does a book get to this extent? I don't know. It just happened. I didn't treat it wrong. I think we just, you know, we moved and things happened. It got ripped and shit. So, you know, whatever. But this is my favorite Resident Evil guide of all time. You get a cool thing of Jill. You used to have Carlos on the back end, but I might rebuy it, guys, because just for the sake of having it intact. And I don't know if this is supposed to be the poster, but because I still have it in here, but at the same time, it doesn't rip out like a poster. So I don't believe this is supposed to be a poster, just cool artwork. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then again, you got the hard mode and easy mode differences, which I don't believe a fucking guide would ever tell you. You have the herb mixtures, which is very important, and of course you have the gunpowder mixtures, which you can find in the guide that you get in the beginning, or the red book that you get. But this is kind of handy just to see it firsthand. Reloading the smart way. Nemesis types. What he can drop. Everything that he could pretty much drop is here. And that's really cool. And of course they have this again. It takes 51 slashes for the knife with Nemesis, 41 the second time he gets up. For type 2, 58. And then 58. Yeah, it's kinda cool. The Gravedigger, it just says not likely, which is kind of funny. Because I doubt you'd be doing that. And then it shows you the power by stars, like the Western Custom M37 is 3. I think this is 3.5. Grenade launcher is 3.5. The M4A1 is 3.5. The Gatling gun's 4.5. And the rocket launcher is 5, which no shit, it's one hit kill. Yeah, very colorful, way more colorful than RE2. I like the little rigid designs they have on the side. which are little clips of each environment, which is really cool. The maps are a little bit better this time around, and every time there's a boss, you get this really fucking cool artwork with a blue background. And I'm going to try to show you Type 2 if that page is still intact. I hope it is. But before I get that, of course, the Wacky Funland returns. They question the Brad Vickers story, how, like, you know, it says, Brad was bitten in the bar, called the T-virus, then after he killed by Nemesis, the virus took effect and revived him. And it says, like, so clearly RE3 takes place before Resident Evil 2. And then they do another check to say, or does it? Marvin was alive in RE2. And his foreman was killed by Leon or Claire in his office where the body now lies in RE3. So then this game takes place after 2, right? But then who boarded up all the doors and scattered new items and reprinted the burnt painting and took away the second floor statues? See, our advice, try not to think about it. See, stuff like that's funny. And they point out the similar areas, which I'm not sure if any of you know. RE2, RE3, really cool stuff. Again, at the end they have like the grades you can get, all the costumes, Disco Jill, Regina, how to get Jill's secret dialects, Type 3 Nemesis. It's kind of splitting in the middle. I wanted to show you Type 2 because I thought that was a really cool picture. One of my favorite Wacky Funlands was this, and they compared it to other Capcom monsters, how they're kind of similar, and they kind of do the same thing, and like stuff like that's kind of cool. Like, so like I remember I ended up just finding myself one time just reading the Wacky Funlands, and they have an ad for RE2 right there. Gravedigger. I had just fun reading, you know, the fucking the Wacky Funlands, and it was cool. There he is. Type 2. Badass motherfucker. And it says, get to the chat before Nemesis does, which means that because he'll pretty much die if he whacks up in the door. Anyway, this is still intact and still a great fucking book. My favorite Resident Evil game, of course. How can you forget? And yeah, so, very cool. Alright. Now we're approaching a shitty side of Resident Evil, but I still have the guide, and for some reason, I don't think they didn't put out a perfect guide for this, and I can see why they didn't waste their time. This is 15. Brady game, or no, Prima, I think it was, not Brady. Prima put out these. Prima with the P. They put out, I said Brady games earlier. It's Prima. Brady put out stuff for GameCube and PS2. Prima, I think Prima might have been around during PS2, but this Prima did all the regular guides. So for RE2, there would be the Prima, and then there would be the Versus. Perfect guide. So this is Survivor. And this is actually in better condition, but there's really not much anything special, because again, it's not a perfect guide, so it doesn't really strip down anything. It doesn't really show you. It just, the artwork's kind of cool, but again, it's the same thing as Resident Evil 2. The theater stage, what side you actually pick, the arcade stage, the hospital stage, and then it takes you through all of that, depending on what door you go through in the beginning. The prison stage continued, the mansion factory thing, the back, stop the virus before it stops you, get an S rank, secrets revealed, and all you get is a fucking rocket launcher. Who gives a fuck? And yeah, nothing special here. Whoever did that did a really okay job. I beat it under an hour before, just speed running, but I mean, still, the game sucks either way. No, even if you try to speed run it and try to show off your time and try to be nice with it, it still sucks. So, Resident Evil Survivor. I do have nostalgia with the guide. I can say that. And it has the US and Canadian prices up there, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. And Resident Evil 2 and 3 for GameCube. I don't know why. This is Brady Games. I don't know why I got this. I think because my other one was in bad condition, I decided, hey, it was in GameStop just chilling there, and I was like, I should get it. So I did, and it's just a watered down version, a more shitty screenshot. Look at these screenshots. Look at the fucking contrast. I don't really think you pick it up on camera. The screenshots look very, very bright, very washed out. And I don't know why, but this pretty much is just a watered down version of what my guides were, and it really was a waste of money because they released these obviously when the GameCube versions were both out, right when they both came out, and you know, RE3, they have stuff. So, the back's the only real cool thing about it. It was $15. $22, and then 10 whatever in UK. So this was kind of cool to have, though. Two different people wrote the different guides, and they put them in one. I don't know if they were by themselves originally, but you know, it says 2 Resident Evil games, 1 guide. So, you know, I don't know what their intentions were there. I don't even have Code Veronica, so I'm sorry. I don't know why that's on top. But we're gonna get to this. I don't have Remake, but I have Zero. I don't know why that is, but I think this might be the same guy who... No, it's not. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is the same guy who wrote the Resident Evil 3 for GameCube. Dan Burlew. So, yeah, this guy, I mean, the game's short as hell, so it's still nothing special. It covers all the puzzles and everything, and it's kind of more bland. I mean, you could tell the guides got a little bit more lazy when they got on, but RE5, which I'm about to show you in a second, is actually redeems itself. So, this is very cool. Resident Evil 0. And, I mean, honestly, you don't even need a guide to complete Resident Evil 0. I think my brother picked that up a while ago. That's why we have it. Resident Evil 5. I wanted the hardcover, and I'll probably get the hardcover of this and 6. Or that's the plan. Down the line, you know what I mean? I'm not really too crazy on getting guides right now, after, you know, when I have a bunch of games on my plate. This one I really like because... I also, here's the thing, I used to have 4, but it really got fucked up, and I want to try to find it, but the front cover is completely missing, and the back's missing as well, because it got destroyed when I was moving, unfortunately. It got mixed up in a box, and it got crushed, but I'm probably going to eventually rebuy 4, just for nostalgia purposes. But yeah, that's why I only have 5, because I know you guys might be like, well, you have 1, 2, and, well, you have 2 and 3, where's 4? And, I should have 1, too, I know, but this is by a Piggyback Interactive. So Piggyback did these. I guess they do the new guides. I'm not too familiar. I got a Brady Games on 6. But this one I kind of like because the RE4 one was great, by the way. I have to add. The RE4 one was great. This one covers a few things. Really has cool artwork throughout. Cool maps. They actually did a pretty good job. It was pretty cool. You know, they did a fine stand-up job. And that's really cool. And you got like all the bosses. The artwork's really good. They always have good artwork. Capcom overdoes that, and they have the extras, and it just shows the unlockables. And I remember when I fucking got this game, and it goes over all the treasures, Sheva Tribal, and like all what you can get up there. And I remember when I got this game, and I looked in the back, and I saw versus mode in the extras, and I was like, why isn't versus mode in the actual game? And I couldn't find anything about it online, but like, it's just kind of weird how like this is just the maps and where everything is, and Executioner. And but yeah, I remember I saw versus mode, and like I was like, what the fuck is versus mode? Like I saw this, and I was like, is this coming out? Was it scrapped? But then I eventually came out with it, but you know, it wasn't in the game, and like, I don't know, that was just weird when it came out. I was like, oh, okay, so that's why I saw it. They got versus types, and they have each character and like what their weapons are, so I kind of had a head start on that. This is really cool. You got map design. This is behind the scenes. These are prototypes of it. That's probably what we saw in the original trailer. What it looked like, what the attack looked like, how he dodged. He would hold up the machine gun like that, which is weird. Look at the difference, I guess. The screen reveals an assault rifle not used in the retail version. Note the size of Chris's arm. His build was slimmed down considerably for the final game. So you can actually look. Yeah. It still illustrates central design concepts in Resident Evil 5. A sharp contrast between light and shadow, with Chris firing and Magini approaching from the shade. Yeah, so it's kind of cool how it changed. So a lot of things were different. That's kind of cool. And you can only see shit like this in the... And you want to see how the experimental facility looked? Look more reminiscent to RE4 in my opinion. Look at that. And then you got cool artwork. Chris Redfield design, really cool stuff. You can see how they changed it along the way. Sheva, really cool stuff. Can never get enough of artwork, concept art. And I'm showing you guys this because, again, if you guys, you know, you guys are a fan, if you're really good fans, you'll care and see. Got Irving, Executioner at Magini's, all different models, front and back. Ouroboros, and a really cool thing of Wesker. That's kind of cool. And then, yeah, you got motion capture and stuff, which is really cool. They probably explained how they did all that stuff, and then they have artwork gallery, which has like the Executioner like chopping off the guy's head, and Chris after the chopper, and you can see the equivalent. It's like storyboard version, and then like a legit version, which is kind of cool. Show you how they did it a bit, and volcano at the end, which is I think is really cool. You see that. So RE5 guide, not too bad, and I want to eventually get the hardcover. RE6 guide, on the other hand, which is the newest one I actually got in one of my collection updates a few videos ago. This one is by Brady Games. Now, again, I didn't buy it. I got it from my friend. And so, yeah, this one's still colorful, really cool. It still covers, you know, it's Resident Evil 6, so we know. But, you know, that, like, you don't really need a guide for, I mean, RE5, I can kind of see why you need a guide. RE6, you don't really need one. But I guess, again, you know, fans would like it. So, again, you can't really complain. Because I enjoyed it personally, but, I mean, because I think it's really cool to have. But, you know, because it goes over the weapons in the back and stuff like that. But, I don't know, it's really hard to try to, you know, make use of it, I guess, you know, if you will, because of how easy the shit is, you know, because it covers Ada's campaign, covers, you know, Jake's, covers pretty much every aspect, and I don't know how far these go anymore, but it has a timeline and the plot periods, which, you know, I mean, shouldn't really be confusing because we all know, but, yeah, I mean, so, yeah, that's pretty much it. All RE guides that I have in my collection are now shown to you guys in every little detail that I could possibly find, and I thought it was a cool video just to throw out there, and I hope you guys really enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed as fans. I hope you guys enjoyed as subscribers, and stay tuned. I have a lot more ideas coming around, so thank you, and you know, thanks for all the support.